It's been a while. Good to have him back. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Ford. It does get, oh, yeah. Those people hugging, I'm telling you.
How's everybody doing?
It kind of makes you feel like an A-lister when you have...
I feel like a rock star.
I'm going to say that Mr. Ford, I earlier this season directed an episode of Supernatural. And it had characters who played young Sam and young Dean and some flashbacks. So I went back and watched all the previous episodes. You did a fantastic job on the show. Fantastic job. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I know I'm a little late to the game to just have seen it, but really, truly, beautiful work. You're a great actor.
I thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Las Vegas, Nevada, Colin Ford.
Wow. There's a lot of you. I'm super happy to be here. I've never been to Las Vegas before, so that's all right. Yeah, there's not too much that I can do in Las Vegas because I'm not 21 yet, so I can't go out. I'm gonna check out the shows though. Maybe go see like a Cirque du Soleil or something. I don't know. But what was that? Well, I'm hanging out with you guys, so I'm having a pretty good time just doing that. So. Oh, so we already got questions going on. All right. Do we start from the left or right? We'll start over here. You ready? All right. Hi.
Hi. So I teach junior theater
Awesome.
with kids first and fourth grade. And as a child actor, what's good advice for them who are starting to learn the craft?
Honestly, just like have fun and make sure that they're, you know, obviously there's a lot of work that goes into it, but you said they're very young, and the most important thing I think for them is to just create a really fun environment for them to run with their imaginations, and because that's something as we get older we lose, and as an actor I have to train the imagination muscle in our brain, and I think that's something as we get older we lose, and so I think if you were to help them expand their imagination, it would only benefit them further down the road.
Thank you so much.
Sure. And to the right.
Hello, Colin.
Hi.
Hi. I wanted to ask if there was a young Sam in the college years spinoff, what would that show look like to you?
It would be a really cool show. Man, I don't know. I would love to get to. That would be so cool. I would love to get to like go back and play Sam in the early Stanford years or something. That'd be so cool. I don't know what that would look like. I think it'd be really cool to see like the transition that Sam made from wanting to leave the hunting life and you know that conversation with his dad or with Dean even and the convincing that maybe John and Dean had to do to keep him from going for a while, and maybe that was like a long process for him to decide to eventually let this lifestyle go and then to go and do school, and then we see in the pilot episode that brings him back and kind of back into it and everything, but up until that point I think that Sam is enjoying his semi-normal lifestyle.
Yeah, I've always wanted to see the scene where Sam chose to leave.
Yeah, no, I talked about it with Brock last night a little bit, so that's fine.
I know it's very difficult for child actors to transition to adult roles. How are you finding it?
It is a very hard transition. That's something that I am going through right now. I'm either too old to play, 15, 16 anymore, or I'm just right at that point where I'm right at the right height and weight and everything. But it's the competition is so much greater between the ages of when I'm now 18, I'm auditioning with guys that are 15 all the way up until 30, and so the competition is so much more wide-ranged, and it can be quite a process. But I'm finding it all right, and I'm I'm trying to put on some weight right now, try to start the whole leading man lifestyle, so that's that's the next step up for me. Just having a little bit of trouble gaining weight. I don't know why. I know that's kind of annoying to hear. It's a problem.
Well, some people have your problem. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello, lovely.
Hi.
My question for you is, what was it like to come back this season and portray Sam? And was it hard to get back into that character again after it had been like some time had passed?
I'm a fan of the show, always have been. Like over the years, I've either had to catch up and watch 3 seasons back to back, and now I'm actually caught up all the way into season 10. So I actually haven't even seen my episode. And because I'm a fan, when I read the script, I didn't even finish it because I didn't want to know what happened in the previous episodes, and kind of the cliffhangers at the end. I didn't want to see them or hear about them. So I haven't watched my episode yet, but in preparation for it, I caught all the way up to the end of season 10. Over the years when I first started doing Young Sam, I was like 9 years old. I would watch Jared's mannerisms, and it's really cool to kind of see at a young age the moral compass that he holds. And I don't know, I think that's something that throughout this series that we've seen Sam gain his moral compass back and fight back and forth, and I think it's really cool to see him at a young age with it and just being, I don't know, a good Sammy.
Well, it was nice seeing you again this season.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi. So that scene you acted where Sam was sticking up for that kid that was getting bullied, I love that, and Sam's bravery is one of the things I love most about his character. I was just wondering if there was anything like, if you drew any inspiration from personal experiences for that scene, or like what your headspace was for that.
I think, well, in my own life, in high school, I went to a normal school for most of my life up until halfway through the 9th grade, and then I was working pretty consistently, so I started doing homeschool. But until then, I was very active with my school life and with my friends and stuff, and I was a participant in a lot of different sports, football, basketball, I ran track, and a lot of, I was always small for my age, and I was always an actor too, so I'd always be leaving practice maybe earlier or something, and I would kind of get picked on a little bit by other kids for acting. It would be, whether there's certain connotations that being a young guy and being an actor, they come with that, and there's certain, things that people would say to me that would hurt my feelings. But as I got older, I would kind of pull on those things for acting, but as I got older and I've kind of grown as an actor, I try not to pull from too many personal experiences because it can kind of mess up with how you feel when you get off work. I mean, you're going to start to think about those things and it's going to affect you, your day-to-day life, and at the end of the day, high school is high school and kids are kids and people are going to say mean things, and I think that bullying is terrible and absolutely someone should always, I wish that everybody had a Sam in their life to stick up for them, but we don't. So I think the best thing we can do is try to stick up for ourselves and just know that we are the best that we can be, and just be content.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi. We were all very excited to see you in the new episode because somehow you managed to get there completely off our radar, which is pretty impressive.
I wasn't allowed to tell anybody. I wanted to so bad.
That was part of my question. So Rob Benedict told us that once when he came back for his last episode, they actually put him in the trunk underneath a blanket because they knew there were fans in town and would see him.
I didn't know. Actually, that's funny because I got off the plane in Vancouver and there was some people there. I was like, oh my gosh, how do you know I'm here? Like, what? Like, nobody was supposed to know, and then they were there. But I don't think I don't know. Nothing came of that, but no leaks came out, so that's good. They didn't tell anybody.
But how was it? Was it great coming back to the cast? And the crew is pretty consistent throughout the years.
Yeah, no, when you come back there, it's like the whole crew and cast is a family. But I'm kind of like a little far extension from that family, and when I come, they make me feel like I'm just as included as each and every single one of them are. It's so great, and it's so like wholesome, and it makes you just feel like comfortable and relaxed when you get on there on the set. It's just like there's no anxiety and nervousness that comes with it. We're just having fun, and they're really just having a good time.
Thanks.
Sure, thank you.
Hi. So I wanted to ask, what is your most fun moment, like on any set, because you've done like a bunch of different things from like Under the Dome and Supernatural stuff.
Gosh, I don't know. I think that one of the most memorable things that I've ever done was really cool. Like I did a movie called We Bought a Zoo a couple years ago with Matt Damon. He played my father, and getting to work with him, and Cameron Crowe directed that as well. And getting to work with Scarlett Johansson. I could just go on and on with everybody that's in the film, but the cast was so incredible, and it was such like it was a core time in my life. I was 14 years old, kind of going through like a lot of changes, mentally, physically, going into high school, and it was a really, really big learning process for me, and it was just so cool. Like we shot for about 5 months with a month of prep before, and we were on location in Los Angeles on this zoo-like property that we built, and we had animals come in every single day, and I was literally hanging out with animals every single day, like talking to Matt Damon and Cameron Crowe and hanging out with Scarlett Johansson. I mean, it was a trip, and I think about it now, and I was like, what was that time? It was I mean, I can't describe anything like that. That was really cool.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, thank you.
Hi. So my friend really liked you in Under the Dome, and she was just wondering what was like your favorite things about working on that show.
Oh, wow, so many. I think that the story was so like captivating. I don't know, like it's just a lot of people would joke whenever. I'm sorry, I'll restart. Whenever someone wouldn't know like what Under the Dome was about, I would go, "Have you seen the Simpsons movie?" And so that's a funny way to get started on the topic, and you kind of hook people into it by saying that, and because that's everybody's seen it, you can for the most part, and it's funny, and then you kind of integrate the sci-fi and the weirdness that Stephen King's novel brings to it, and that we tried to adapt for television, and it was just like it's so much fun. Like I don't really have any particular favorite time or anything, just the entire process and the entire story was so much fun to work on. Like it was just such a cool project. I don't know. Can't really think of anything specific, sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is it working now? Okay. So that was my daughter just a minute ago. And her and her little brother, who's about your height, are looking to pursue acting. So
Awesome.
what's some things that I can do as a parent as far as looking out for them, or
Oh, you're the coolest. Just they're in their teenage years, correct? Yeah, she's 19, and then your son is how old? 16. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think that they're already. I think that the same thing I said earlier about their imaginations. I think that's something that they need to just be reading and be watching movies and be really thinking about. This craft, and and as far as your question goes, more is what you can do. I think just make sure that they're happy and make sure that they're focused, and if they like it. If they're not loving it, then tell them to do something else, because ultimately they just got to be happy and have a fun time doing it, and just make sure that nobody's just watch out for them. Make sure that nobody's taking their money.
Thank you, Colin.
Sure.
Hey, so do you have any specific moments playing young Sam that stood out to you?
Oh gosh, so many. I love whenever I can work with the boys. Specifically, I had Jensen direct me, and that was so cool because he knows the story so well. I think that was probably one of my most memorable experiences was getting to work with him and him directing me, because it was getting to hang out with him. I never really get to work with them that much, except for that one fireworks scene with Dean, which was a lot of fun, but it was raining the whole time, dang it. But no, I think that was probably my favorite one, and then I really love also doing any like cool fight stuff. Like I love like the Dirk to Jerk fight scene. Like yeah, it was so much fun. Like, and you know, I think that there's a lot of weight that that episode carried behind it for the, you know, and I think that anytime I can like be Sam and convey like a positive message, I'm super stoked.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Colin.
Hi.
I was just curious, how life-changing was it for you to step into the role of such a known character?
I was 9. I don't know. It was really crazy. You know, I started watching Supernatural at 9, and that's kind of scary. You know, I made sure that when my mom watched it late at night, I'd watch Jared's mannerisms and stuff. And I guess that it was intimidating, definitely. But when I got to go up to Vancouver for the first time then, and I got to hang out with Jared for a little bit beforehand. But I think at 9, you know, you don't really know the difference between, even though, you know, as an actor, you don't really know the difference between like somebody like and their character. So I really kind of just watched Jared, and I think he was kind of just being, Sam because he knew that too. You know, I was 9, and I kind of just watched him and ran with it. I had a lot of, I mean, I had so much fun when I'm on set. It's like hard to be intimidated or like to get nervous. I just have too much fun when the camera starts rolling.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Kitty.
Hi.
So you've been directed by both Jensen and Rich.
I wasn't directed by Rich in that episode. That was another young Sam and Dean that I haven't seen yet because I haven't seen that episode. So don't tell me.
I won't tell you about it.
Thank you.
Well, can you tell us some stories about being directed by Jensen?
Let me think of something. I know I need some like background music, some thought process music. No, I mean I just think that because when I go up there and I'll do like an episode when it's, you know, like after school special, where I don't get to work with the guys a lot. I think that, you know, working with Jensen I worked with him as an actor and as a director, and seeing him work as a director is really cool because he's focused about it. Like as an actor, the guys are really funny, and like you see them up here, they have a great time. Like they're so charismatic and so much fun. But when Jensen like kind of puts his director hat on, you know, the director's kind of doing a million different things at once and kind of making sure everybody's doing what they need to be doing as well. And I think that he wears that leadership cap so well, and I think that you kind of see this big, I don't know, like he's very mature and everything, but he's very playful as well, and I think that you kind of see his very mature side pop out when he's directing, and he kind of puts his playful hat away for a little while. So it's really cool to kind of see him be super serious and super focused and know what he wants and how to get it out of his actors or crew. It's really cool.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And if you need to get pumped up, just come down to the south. We'll pump you up.
I'm not interrupting anything. I'm going to talk to you. Or your boyfriend for a second. I love the Smurfs. It's not a good time to talk now. Listen, Dad hasn't been home. What do you want me to do about it? Dad went on a hunting trip. He hasn't been home for days.
Yeah, it's always bad.
Sam? Baby's running out back. I'll be waiting in the car.
He didn't plan that. Shout out to Brock Kelly.
Hi.
Hi.
I
wondering, on Supernatural, what was your favorite episode to film?
Well, if I don't say the one with Brock, then he's gonna be mad. He's backstage listening to me. Man, me and Brock had a great time 7 years ago. What? No, it was that long ago. Yeah. I don't know. I think that could be one of my favorite ones, actually, not even just saying it. Just because, like, me and Brock had a great time. Like, as a kid, I always looked up to older actors, just because, and older people in general. I always wanted to be older. I always wanted to hang out with the older kids, always. And so Brock treated me like a little brother, but like I was also kind of his age, and that was so weird, us having this 10-year age gap, you know what I mean? And I kind of think that he just treated me like a really awesome kid, and I really appreciated that. And you know, I wasn't necessarily working with the boys on that episode, so Brock made me feel comfortable on set and made me feel like not nervous or anything like that. We just had a good time.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yesterday, Brock told us about his audition and how they kind of pulled him aside. What was your audition experience like for Supernatural?
I don't remember. I really don't. I don't remember. It's that simple. Do you want even another question? Yeah, it was.
The only other question I can think of is, this is such a family show. I mean, even my kids, this is a family event. What about the show? Does it make you feel that camaraderie as soon as you come in? I mean, do they have to work with you on being so close to the cast, or is it natural?
Oh, not at all. I think, like I said, I think I touched on it earlier very briefly, but every time I go up there, they're so accepting. It's like I never left. It's like my character is a character that they shoot regularly or something. You know, it's weird how kind everybody is on it. It's not fake. It's confusing though, because everybody's so nice. I'm serious. Everybody's so nice, and they're welcoming, and they just make you. There's no weird energy in the air. Everybody's just ready to go and make a cool show.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh no.
Oh, hi, Colin. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan of the show. And, about to say. Just wondering, what was it like to play a character with such a cool older brother? You could possibly do an impression.
You could possibly do an impression of my older brother who thinks he's so cool, driving his Impala around, knocking babes, yo, what's up, bro? You wanna come back with me?
Hi, Colin. I should say it's great to see you again. I got to see you in Phoenix last year.
Oh, good to see you again.
And I was wondering, you tweeted me a while ago about how you wanted to see Sam come back and see the Stanford episode and things like that.
Yeah.
Is there any other flashbacks? Because we've seen Sam's first kiss, we've seen his first real big issue with bullies. Is there anything you want to see him find out or experience as Sam?
We can have Sam experience anything. Sam's first bike ride, Sam's time on a boat, Sam's first time at the DMV getting his driver's license. Let's do it all. Let's do it all. Whoa. Like that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my question is, what was it like doing San Diego Comic-Con for the first time, as massively huge as that is?
Oh my gosh, man, that was crazy. I've never seen something like that. That was nuts. It was so cool. It was a whirlwind trip for me. I was there for literally 24 hours. Had to go back and finish an episode of Under the Dome. But it was so much fun. I mean, the amount of people that were there. I mean, I didn't think San Diego could hold that weekend. It didn't. You guys could here in Vegas, but San Diego? No, it was so cool. I mean, everybody's walking around like in costumes, supporting their favorite shows or series or animation. The energy is like, and everybody's like happy or drunk. They're both. Everybody's having a great time, and so I just think it's so much fun to get to see. As a fan of like so many different shows as well, it's really cool to get to see them there at Comic-Con as well, because I don't get to walk around necessarily the whole time, but I get to see like all the different setups and kind of experience the stuff that the fans going get to experience, and that's really cool for me.
Well, I think you did a great job at the Under the Dome panel.
Well, thank you very much.
I just wanted to ask if you always wanted to be a child actor, because I remember you in Smallville. Was that one of the first things you played in?
It was very early on in my career. I've always wanted to be a child actor, and now that I'm starting to be an adult actor, I wish I was still a child actor. No, I've always wanted to be an actor. That's never changed for me. Becoming like the transition between being a young adult or being a teenager and being a young adult kind of came with a lot of decisions, like going to college and where and when and etc. And those are and that's the decision that I've kind of taken. I took a gap year, and I'm maybe going to take another one, but acting is just like exactly where my heart lies, and I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else, and that's why I'm still doing it, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't be shy.
Okay. What was one of the funniest moments you had on set?
I think it's really funny, like whenever you choreograph something, like a fight scene, and it just like doesn't go very well. And it can be bad too if you do too fast, somebody can get hurt. But if it just looks silly, like I remember like trying to fight Dirk the Jerk, and him being significantly taller than me, and just like my reach was just like not there. So just like keeping it natural and keeping it just like funny. But whenever there was like those awkward takes, it was just like we would just like I would be like and like laugh, just like laugh it off like at the end. Like it was just like it would be silly and we'd know it, so we'd just have a good time doing it, or just like rolling around like on the mats like while fighting, just like messing around. It's fun.
A few years ago, in Con, Brock had said that you had called him up and said that he didn't get the part. I wanted to know if you could tell us the story of that.
Brock? My memory is escaping me. Was this when I did another Supernatural, like after we done ours?
No, that he hadn't gotten the Dean part.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
he had auditioned for it.
Oh, okay. No, I
he
didn't.
get the part. And you told him that he didn't get the part.
Oh, yeah, I probably did. I don't remember this. Remember this? Okay, go for it. I don't remember this.
This prankster right here. I don't know, it was probably like a month or so after I shot.
Oh, okay.
He called me up, he was like, hey, man, I hate to break the news to you, but they recast.
That's right.
Young Dean. He's like swole, he's like 6'2", really, he's like way better looking than you. And I'm just like, damn, all right, I guess I did a bad job.
He was sad, like he was sad. I thought it was serious.
Yeah. I owe you.
Never, bro.
I owe you.
Okay, now I do remember that. He just leaves. Hang out, bro. Stay right there.
Hello. I was just wondering, we know what you do for a living, but what do you do when you have your time off with your friends?
Oh, gosh. When I'm with my friends, I watch a lot of TV. Let's see. I don't know, like I'm very active. I like to be outside. So I like to go hiking. I like to go to car shows. I'm a big car guy. So my buddy Garrett and I will go to car shows pretty often. And then other than that, I'm just like a big TV movie guy. I really kind of just sit at home working on my craft and watching television. Kind of boring. I'm kind of boring. I don't know.
Have you watched all of Supernatural yet?
I'm caught up to date with season 10, not 11, so I need to check that out.
You know what's interesting about that?
What?
I'm sure you already know this. There's no subterfuge here. We're not about to Listen, I was just saying, you're talking about being caught up on season 10. I'm sure you all know this, but I just heard from Phil. The show is picked up for season 12. That means the supernatural cavalcade of B-stars will be going for another year. I'll be wheeling out of here. Next to the stage. Oh, Jesus. Some kid.
You won't be so young anymore.
No, Ledge did. Young Dean will have just good knees. That's what we're like. You with your eyesight, functioning joints. You know what I learned at this panel? Brock, that Colin's kind of an asshole. Dude, that joke, you played the joke on him, man. Like that's, yeah, he's like, what did I do? Oh yeah, that. Ouch.
It was evil.
You have one more question. Is there one more question? All right, we'll do this last question while we're on.
My friend and I made a recent discovery in the past 5 minutes. I just had to ask, what was it like voicing Jake in the Neverland Pirates for season 1 through 2?
Oh my god, so much fun. You get to go and like be a character while wearing your pajamas and voiceover. Are you kidding me?
Dude,
amazing job.
Hard knock life.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I mean,
You were Jake in the Neverland Pirates?
yeah. Yo, well, let's go.
I got news for you. Somewhere, 3 very blonde spade boys just went. That's their jam. My kids love that show. That's awesome.
Let me give him a call if I can still do the voice. Let's try to stir him up.
I better have it somewhere near the John because they will poop. That's awesome. And I love those dudes who come on and like sing like pirates at the end of the show.
Yeah, they're funny.
It's legit funny television. I like Mr. Jake and the Neverland Pirates. I get my doubloons. They have a little game on the app to play.
How many gold doubloons did you get?
Oh my God, it's that guy!
Would you like to join my pirate crew?
Yes! Yes, I would!
Oh, let's go!
This is the best day ever. I told you nobody famous was coming today. I was wrong. I told you it was just low-level celebrities all weekend long for your enjoyment. No! F. Jared Jensen and Misha. Colin Ford is the Neverland Pirate. My life is worth something. Thank you for making this an actual, functioning, successful, entertaining weekend parade. Sweet Jesus, every now and then somebody wakes me up, and this time it was Colin Ford. You know what? I take it back. You're not an asshole. Ladies and gentlemen, Colin Ford! Sing it again, Mike.
The TV's all
Wow. Holy cats, that was Jake from the Neverland Pirates. I'm not kidding, that's awesome. My kids will finally think I know somebody cool. I keep trying to tell them that Uncle Rob is a rock star. They don't buy it. Although my middle son has an unhealthy infatuation with Billy. Every time somebody calls my phone, I'll hang up and he's like, was that Billy and the guys? And I have to look at him and say, Billy never calls me, so no, it's not Billy. He has a Moran hat that he wears around the house. He truly is your biggest fan. Until he finds out that Colin is Jake. And then you are out. You are out. There he goes. Oh my God, there he goes! This is seriously so freaking cool. I have never, that's awesome. I'm usually up here going, all right, next to the stage is some jackhole. You know what? Not anymore, Mike. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
This matters. What we do now, it has purpose. We're dealing with actually, between Max Headroom and Jake and the Neverland Pirates. We're doing real stuff now. We've finally arrived. It took us forever. 7 years of bringing on beautiful, vapid people. We finally have talent. This is so great. Oh my God.